Soms gehuurd en soms gekocht. Soms recht en soms met bocht. Soms binnen, soms op de blok. Soms vrienden, soms 100 ops. Soms poeder en soms in rocks. Op verlof, hij wordt nog onderzocht. Dat is een lijf, soms vrij.
So the song of today is a Dutch song and it's called The Leva from Kevin. It's a Dutch artist. He's one of the only Dutch artists that I very much like to listen to, lyrical wise, and yeah. Someone's messaging me. But yeah, so that's the song of today. You can try also in English to write down the live Kevin the song. Maybe you'll find it then. I always find it funny that I'm already talking as if I have a whole audience watching, even though I don't. And I don't know, I just find it very funny because I think that also says a lot about who I am as a person. I will always thrive on doing the things that I love in a way that I deem as being, how do you say that? Important. And because I treat it as something that's important, eventually it will become important. You know. But yeah, today I don't really have, I always try to say I don't have any deep talks, but today, maybe. But I was thinking about the fact that things in my life are going so good. And I had a conversation with my sister and a friend of mine this week, and like 2 other friends of mine this week. And I said to them, you know what? Everything is going fine. I'm not gonna say exactly what's going fine because I believe that evil exists, and I find it smart for me to keep the things that go well in my life quiet. And if you see it, it's something that's already materialized. It's the same thing with my clothing brand. The pieces that I launch already materialized. I also, if you notice, also about my clothing, I never talk about the fact if I have projects going on or whatever. Eventually, out of nowhere, you will see an Instagram image pop up, and like, why? So yeah, I'm that kind of person. But yeah, everything goes so good, and it's so weird because I was talking about the fact that if you have lived in chaos and was brought up in dramatic, toxic situations, then you get to, how can you say that? You get comfortable in that place. And the moment that you move out of it, the moment that you have healed enough to not be in those situations anymore, you actually find out how boring a peaceful life and deserving life actually is. And what I mean by deserving is something, what I see as a deserving thing is something that's good for you, right? And me just noticing and me telling to my friends or my sister, like, it's so weird that when things are just good, there's no problem. And for me, there a long time, it's like, it's going good, it's like, it's boring. Life is boring. And then I was talking about the fact at a certain point you can choose, right, to go back, create chaos, not create chaos, but keep yourself in chaos, and because of that create chaos for yourself. But you can choose that, or you can choose to stay where you are, and that is at least peaceful, but maybe boring. And what I mean by boring, it's like if you have lived on getting high highs and lows from people, it's like a steady point feels boring. But I know eventually it will feel not boring, I think. Especially because me now, when I'm doing stuff, I'm in the moment, I'm doing my thing, I'm thriving, right? But then I'm done with it, and then you need to find a serotonin kick, or you just need something to, like, I don't know. I think a lot of people just in general find a serotonin kick, even if it's reading, it's still one of them. So I've bought also a lot of books because I was like, I'm gonna read books, and now I actually have the motivation to read books. And I also, when I was younger, I read a lot of books, but I was reading stories, science fiction, and adventure, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm very much in the psychologues and the mental things and the human brain, how humans work, business, money, that type shit. That's what I find very interesting to read about. So I was by myself, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna buy a bunch of books. And yeah, but I'm gonna go back. So you can choose you can choose if you can stay at something that was comfortable at first, but now it became not uncomfortable, became toxic, and you noticing that it's not even attractive in that sense. Or you can choose to stay in peace and maybe a little bit of boredness. But then I was thinking about myself, at a certain point you come to a point that you're healed enough. I also say healed enough because I'm never gonna say that I'm healed or whatever, because tomorrow can happen something and I need to heal again. You know what I'm talking about? So for me, I've healed enough that I just know if I would go back, it will not give me the same how can I say that? I'm not gonna say satisfaction because it never was a satisfaction, but the lows, the lows don't get that low anymore, and 9 times 10, if lows go low, it's and outside, like most of the time, an outside influence can put you very, very, very, very low, right? Also, a thing that I have with talking, I always talk so slow, and I find it very annoying, especially in English. I have it also in Dutch, by the way. I'm trying to talk faster because I think a lot of people don't like. Some people love it, some people hate it, I think. So I try to speed up my talking more, but it's hard for me because I always think very fast, and because of that I need to think about what I'm saying, because otherwise the things that I'm saying doesn't match up with the rest of the things that I'm gonna say, so I can swallow sentences, right? And then something can be completely differently, and when I watch it back, it's as I'm looking at them like, oh my gosh, I should have said that, because otherwise people have the space to interpret that, and then I'm like, oh my god, and then I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Exhausting. It doesn't even matter at this point. But yeah, it's also something that I noticed in life. A lot of people and me are learn to talk about the good things happening in your life. And of course, I'm not doing it on social media because I don't know you people, and I do believe in evil eyes. But people that I love to be around is as the moment that we feel good and everyone feels good, we hang out. It's good. It's nice. It's like we go on a day, but 90% of the time with calling or anything, it's 90% about things that go bad. And then I'm like, I said to a friend, because I don't have a problem with that. I really don't have a problem with it. And also, I'm doing it myself, so, but I don't have a problem with that. But I was calling my friend and said to her, you know what? You should call me and also tell me about the good things. You know? Because even though how my brain works, brain also works the same as a lot of friends of mine. It's like when something happens, bad happens, we need to talk about it, and because of talking about it, then we get realizations, then we can put things together, and then we can put conclusions, and then we can work on something, and then we know what we need to do, and then that's how a lot of times our brains work, and also most definitely mine. And then it is that they understand me, right? But someone else can deem me or my friends as, oh my god, you guys are so pessimistic, or you guys are just only focused on the bad things, you guys are some, like, you guys live in the past, da, da, da. But it's like, no, I think I just, for me, if I feel good, I want to share my energy with you, and when I feel bad, I want to share my words. You know, I think that's a thing that I also very much have, but also I also just want to learn to share my words when I feel good, you know? Because I always, when people ask me, how are you? And when I'm good, I'm like, I'm good but busy. And that's the only information that you'll ever get, you know? It's like, okay, but girl, and you can talk for hours if you get hit by a car tomorrow or today, you know. But when it's going good with you, you don't talk. You only give energy. You're just there. But I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's funny to think about those things, because I think it's easier to talk about things that hurt you or things that don't go well than things that go well. And I also think for me personally, why I have that is because I don't know, I just really want to keep things private and keep things to myself that go good, because I have seen people in real life try to rip good things away from you just because they don't have it. And that's why for me, I think things need to be all the way materialized before I will show it. You know, for me, also with a relationship, I have this thing of myself, like, I have a certain time frame. I'm not gonna say which one. I have a certain time frame, and I'm not gonna tell you which one. It can be long, it can be short. Time frame before I will even mention in my close circle that I'm talking to someone. Like, it's a thing. It will be a certain time frame before I will let you know on Instagram. You know, I'm very, things that I deem worthy and worth keeping, I just don't like to just hang on someone's neck to see it. I like my diamonds clean, protected around my neck, around my space, you know, not someone else. I don't like to put a diamond outside and just put it there for someone else to see. you know. I will put a diamond outside if I build a protection cage over it. But that's for me the thing that's materialized. And if that thing isn't on yet, I don't want people to know at all. And that's also the thing with me. What I find very funny is I'm very much a person, you can ask me about certain deep stuff and I will give you raw information. But if you will ask me about like things that you deem as small, you know, you can ask me about what's your biggest trauma. I can talk about you about it, like whole thing. But now you can also ask me, where do you come from? And I'm skeptical. Like I'm skeptical about your question. You know what? Like I don't know. It's very funny. But this is a short podcast. Well, it's longer, honestly. But I gotta go. Next time I really need to have a topic, honestly. I also had the same outfit on as yesterday. It is what it is. I had no interest in changing it. Probably tomorrow I'm going to have the same outfit on. What? Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, this is my KİKÂY'S truth. And yeah. Keep safe.